How you going, people? I'm gonna do a crazy cop story. This is one I was talking to my buddy. He used to work. The pond got some water. You can kindly see the water now from the rain. I did a thing on the pump. I had a pump hooked up there with that hose pumping water, trying to fill it up. And I painted my rooster. For those that remember the other color, that's his new colors. The boys are eating their breakfast. The neighbors' donkey and cows having a little snack with my boys. Throwing a little hay over there. And we'll do a crazy cop story. Let's see what the hell. No wind out here. Let's see, I think it's like March 2nd. So, I don't know. I think it's like 40 out here or something. It was a little nippy, but this is probably the last cold day morning we're gonna have. Alright, so let's get this crazy cop story. Alright, let me warn all the snowflakes. It's gonna be about somebody dying. If that offends you, don't hit play. Leave now. Don't hang around and then cry that your sensitive ears heard something. Then go cry into YouTube. This needs to be removed. He's telling bad stories. Look, it's reality, people. If you don't want to hear it, then go stick your head in the sand. Run your safe space. So, this is about the California prison system. I mean, I had a couple buddies that I was in the Air Force with that worked internal affairs with the Department of Corrections. And some of the shit that they would deal with, I mean, it was just freaking amazing. And because it's run by California State, they have lots of quota hires. So they hire people based on everything but qualifications, and then they wonder why their internal affairs division is so busy. You know, you got guards sleeping with inmates, you got guards bringing in inmate stuff, you got guards who are married to somebody who's married, you know, who was married to an inmate, or, I mean, the shit they, you know, you're not supposed to have sex in the prison system, but yet the California provides free rubbers to prisoners. Now, why do you need free rubbers in a prison with just males? You know, I mean, the logic of liberalism never seems to amaze me. But anyway, this is just one story where the failure of our prison system, the failure of government. Remember, prisons are a liberal government dream world. It's all government controlled. You get everything provided by the government. You have armed guards. You're not allowed to have weapons. You're locked in a place to where everything's provided for you. You have free food, free medical, free entertainment, and you're watched over by armed guards, and no weapons are allowed. That's a liberal paradise. Yet the crime and violence in prisons are outrageous. But so in this story, there was a guy, and I think, I don't know if he was at CMF or if he was at the other San Quentin. I can't remember. He might have been at San Quentin, because they were all kind of in a northern area. So anyway, there's a guy that's named, or he's, I don't know what his name is, but he's known devil worshiper, and he worships the devil, and he's all about Satan, and he gets his power from Satan and evil, and so this guy is locked up in segregation, or he's got his own cell because he's killed the last 2 or 3 cellmates they put in with him. So in liberal world, instead of getting rid of this guy, we just give him his own cell for killing people. So now he doesn't have a roommate. He's got his own cell. He can worship the devil. He can paint his pentagrams on the wall, whatever, his little star points, pray to his devil god. Well, because of overpopulation in the prison, and because, and I want to say this guy's black. I'm sorry, but I mean, it's the fact. I know somebody's going to find that a racist fact, but facts aren't racist. So this guy is a black devil worshiper, and they have to give him a roommate because they're overpopulated. So somehow, in the genius of the prison system, with a black guy who's a devil worshiper, they find a black guy that's named Little Jesus. and because he prays all the time and preaches the Bible, they call him Little Jesus. So somehow nobody has a clue in the prison system, because it's all run by quota hires, because it's more important to be diverse than it is competent. Somehow they decide putting a guy named Little Jesus in a cell with a guy who's killed his last 3 cellmates would be a good idea, because this guy's a devil worshiper. Oh yeah, for all the idiots that come here. The prisons don't segregate by color. Okay, whatever. So obviously they weren't going to put a white guy in there with him, or he'd have been dead. So they put a black guy named Little Jesus in with the black devil worshiper, and we have racial harmony. Well, anybody got a clue on what happens? Yeah. So 3 days, or I don't know, a week after this guy's been in here, evidently when they get in there, they both kind of have this agreement starting out. Look, we got to be roommates. I like Jesus. You like the devil. We'll agree not to, say our prayers out loud or worship our person out loud. We'll do it to ourselves. Well, that lasted for what? 3 days to a week. And then there was a few fights. So they get a call, the IA gets called in because they have a rancid smell in the prison. Well, no, actually they get called in because they have a dead body. Little Jesus died. We don't know how. Rumor is multiple stab wounds, but Little Jesus is dead. So because there's a dead body, they call internal affairs, like, how did this guy happen? What happened? They got to go in and figure out what's going on. And the devil worshiper, he didn't care. He was in prison for life anyway. He had already killed 3 other whatever. So what does he care if he kills another guy? So this guy's dead. Well, here's my buddy said when he shows up. He goes, man, because my buddy was a cop, and when he got out of the military, he was a cop in San Jose for a while, and then he worked for the U.S. Marshals. So, and he's still in the Army. So he's an Army intelligence officer in the reserve now. So he gets down there. He says, as soon as he walks in, man, he goes, the smell is just freaking overwhelming a dead body. He says, I just can't believe it, man. He goes, how can they not tell somebody's dead for 3 days? Oh yeah, I forgot. The guy was dead for 3 days before they found him. Now, mind you, for you prison people out there, or people that don't know how to prison, they have what's called counts. Everybody has to be accounted for. Most prisons do it every shift change. Some will do it once in the morning, one at night. There might be some prisons, the jails, that only do 1 count a day. But normally a count is a big thing, because you want to find out if somebody's missing, somebody's escaped, somebody's dead. You want to make sure that your prisoners, government, that you're overwatching the sheep, that you still have your sheep. Well, somehow, the great California prison system, all these prisoners make $100,000 to $120,000 a year. That's without overtime. So they're great jobs, but they hire people because of everything other than qualifications. So it's run by a bunch of idiots for a bunch of idiots, and they wonder why it's failure. And their answer is, we need more prison guards. We need more prisons. We need more government, like everything. So Little Jesus lay dying there for 3 days. Not only was he dead for 3 days, but in those 3 days, Devil Dude had painted a pentagram in his blood, and he had his body in the middle, and he had been praying to him and doing all these rituals, painting on the walls, all kind of crap. So this went on for 3 days, and of course, nobody knew when he died, nobody knew how he died, and nobody knew how everybody missed this on the multiple counts that were done each day. Of course not. So my buddy ends up doing this case, and then evidently somebody got involved that this was a setup. One of the lieutenant general, lieutenant governor, lieutenant warden, the deputy warden, the warden, who's ever the California bureaucracy is, somebody thought, hey, these guys did this on purpose. They go, who would be stupid enough to put a guy named Little Jesus, who preaches the word of God all the time, in with a guy known as a devil worshiper that killed his last inmates? They set Little Jesus up. They put him in there to get him killed. We want somebody held responsible. It was just incompetence. I mean, there was no proof that they were that stupid. Although, how could you not be that stupid? Well, it's easy. You hire a bunch of quota hires and then run around and scream about how diverse we are and how wonderful we are because we have diversity in the prison hiring system. So little Jesus died. 3 days, they found him. This guy did it. He couldn't find him. He did the investigation. They couldn't find it. I don't even think, I think the guy got like 5 extra years tacked on or something. I mean, because in the spectrum of things, you got a guy in prison who's doing life. He's never going to get out. Why are we going to put this in front of a judge or jury, do another jury trial, waste a court, tie up a court, have a public defender, have appeals, have a prosecutor? You're going to spend millions of dollars to convict this guy of another murder when he's already got 3 or 4 murders under his belt, to get more time when he's not going to get out anyway. And then people are like, oh, they didn't even charge him. Poor little Jesus died in vain. And he wasn't even charged or held accountable. It's all semantics, man. I mean, the longer you're in law enforcement, the longer you're kind of like, it's a big joke. I mean, the laws don't apply to everybody the same. You got this mayor, she's a female in Oakland, tipping off crooks on crimes, getting 200 people to escape ICE raids, no problem. You got Hillary giving out super top secret classified information on her emails, handling it to Huma, and Huma's husband, who's a large Democrat governor mayor who was raping young girls or having sex with 16-year-olds, all on the liberal left. No problem. Nobody gets charged. Actually, I think Huma's husband might have got charged. I don't know what he got if he did prison, but hi, Moki. Come say hi to YouTubies. Moki went out there. I guess he's looking for mousies. So that's just one of the many. I mean, the stories that we used to talk about, and we used to sit around, we'd be working, yo man, what are you doing? Hey, check out this case, man. I mean, just crazy stuff on video, sneaking an inmate out to her car in a parking lot to have sex with him. And then he escapes, and they don't want, of course the government never wants the news put out, so it's not like the government is going to run around and go, hey, we want to do a press release. One of our quota hires that we had to hire because it was a female and really wasn't qualified and probably shouldn't have been here, but she was the right color and the right sex and she wanted her own bathroom, so we hired her, and now she's sneaking out inmates to the parking lot having sex with him, and he escaped. But we caught him, and while he was out, he only committed a few crimes, but we caught him and he's back in jail. Can you guys send a press over so we can do a press release on this? You're not going to hear that. And then the cops who are investigating and working, we can't talk about it. If we get caught talking to the press, we can get fired, lose our jobs and our pensions. So it's like, you know what? People are clueless on the incompetency of government, and it's like it's promoted that government, the more incompetent we make government, the easier it is to sell people that we need more government. We just don't have enough government to do the job right. We hire incompetence at the post office. You have a monopoly on mailing to people's addresses. You have federal protections, federal laws, federal everything. You can drive around like a freaking maniac in your mail truck. You can do all this crap, and you're still a failure. You go over budget. There's never enough money. And when you walk in a post office, you see 20 different damn stands, and you see one person working. And then it's lunchtime, and there's 50 people in line, and people are like, hey, we need more government. If you want to fix the problems, give us more taxes, give us more government, and we'll do everything right. That's the answer. And the idiots on the left just buy into it. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket science to recognize ignorance, but, it is what it is. That's my crazy crop story. Boys out there eating. Mr. T's got a big old knot. Mr. T is my non-white or non-blonde horse. I can't say what he is. YouTube will block the video. So evidently he's got a knot on his head that's kind of growing like an abscess, and he had that before. If you Google Mr. T's abscess, you'll get the video where it kind of oozed out and it popped, and I did a video on my horse channel, but I think it's coming back. So he's irritating it and rubbing it, and it's kind of warm. Went to the vet. They said, you know what? Put some of this $40 for a little bitty bottle about the size of a toothpaste tube. Put some of this on there, and it's got hydrocortisone, antibiotic, anti-inflammation, whatever. Rub this on his neck, and then he'll stop rubbing it, and then it might go away. So that's the big fix for poor old Mr. T. Anyway, that's the end of the crazy cop story, and we'll end that there on a good Texas morning. Light breeze, flags just barely flying up there, not a lot of wind noise, sun's out, had rain the last couple days, and we'll end that there.